It was a good season ender for sure. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to compare this to every single season ending part. So therefore, yes, in this video we're going to say, as we end the first chapter of Lower Decks, with the epicness of it, how does it actually compare to all the other finales of the seasons? We've got Discovery comparison, which obviously are more 1 and 2, and then I've got the other ones like Endgame and All Good Things and whatever, because I think the epicness in this one is certainly comparable to some of those. I guess what I was getting at is more the last episode we saw of the respective shows. How does it compare to those? How those shows left off? Because there's so much in this one, whatever. But yes, Stuart, how does this one, do you think, compare to, like I said, the Voyager, the TNG, the Picard, the Enterprise, DS9, Discovery 1, Discovery 2?
It's definitely at the top, near the top. As far as season finales go, this one was really great. It had a lot of things that make Star Trek fans go, ooh. Like, I got goose pimply a few times during this episode, which was great.
Titan showing up. What a moment.
Yeah. The music, the tone, the action that's going on. Who's showing up? The
surprises.
The ship that's showing. Yes, references out the wazoo.
They're referencing their own show, using their own canon already, building into that.
It is jam-packed full of goodness. Like, literally almost double the screenshots than any other episode just because of all the references and stuff.
But let's do some direct comparisons there. How does this compare to the last season finale we got, Picard Season 1, in which the Romulans revealed their hand that O is actually a spy. They come and attack the synth planet. The synths are data descendants, sort of. We see a scene where Narek hand-to-hand fights androids that each can stop him instantly but don't. Picard dies and is resurrected as a synth. We see Data's actual death. Spoilers. We see Seven in a rage-filled revenge killing of Naris. And we see the blonde lady kiss the captain. I forget the names because, and also a bit of romance with Seven.
Rios and Girardi.
Thank you. And a potential romance with Rutherford, no. Rios, no. 7 of 9 and Raffi. So a lot of things. Oh, and these universe-destroying synths, destroying the entire universe, or our entire galaxy, get undone in seconds. And the copy and paste fleet, both by Romans and thing, and Riker's heroic sitting in a chair, coming back and not really doing anything. How does it compare to that epic finale, which was also like 55 minutes, so much longer?
This was we're sorry for the finale of Picard. Here's what you wanted and expected and deserved. With the Riker bit. Anyway, this was heads and shoulders above the Picard season finale, my friend.
Yes, they didn't drop the ball, did they, in terms of storyline? Where Picard, it kind of felt like all this build-up, heavily wasted.
And with Picard, they had the opportunity, and like you said, the build-up to make it a cliffhanger. Like, let's hook you for season 2. That's not there. It's very much a tight little. It's done up in a nice little bow. It is its own thing. They could not have another. They could not have another season of Picard and it'd be fine. It was like a mini series, It's
as if they decided by episode 6, we're done with the synth storyline. Let's wrap it up without actually going to any depth, both on the planet and the space creatures. Because that's the problem. When you set up, the bigger the threat, the more powerful the payoff has to be, and that payoff was absolutely nonsense. And killing Picard in such a way was silly. The date scene was great, and obviously, deciding to swap to have Riker come in on a different ship 1 week before it's released, having done reshoots with Jonathan Frakes in that time, building one 3D model which we then kit bashed in the cells of an impulse drives of to make 4 to 3 new ships, where the CGI quality literally goes from, you can tell where they'd finished it weeks ago with the space flowers, and then suddenly these are all rushed shots. You can literally see the point where they ran out of time and had to quickly rush out stuff. It is embarrassing. So that was that season finale. But let's jump to season 2 of Discovery, where we had the Red Angel suit being built in about 2 hours. The super secret time suit ability. We had the Enterprise B show, Enterprise B there. We see lots of shots of Enterprise, bridge, corridor, and other sets with number 1, 7, and Spock. We see Michael Burnham tell Spock to find a friend. So Michael Burnham is the reason why Spock becomes friends with Kirk, Brilliant. We see Control be a complete ineffective villain, does nothing in the entire battle, actively isn't able to destroy 2 ships with 50 ships somehow, and also gets himself killed, and a hand-to-hand fight with a guy who has the power to kill anybody with his hands, can't beat 2 officers in hand-to-hand combat. And the Red Angel suit goes back in time to multiple places, but also doesn't do 3 of its jumps or 2 of its jumps, ignoring canon, then retcons it at the end. And we see them defeat Control before they have to go through the time loophole, which means that completely nullifying their reason to go through the time hole, and still go through the time hole because they want to go to season 3 and ignore continuity. And then also we get the end, which is relatively satisfying, basically saying Discovery, ignore Discovery's canon because we're going to stop it. And do on the Enterprise. How does it compare to that? On a battle that is incredibly ineffective for 20 minutes. Oh, and, of course, let's not forget killing Admiral Cartwright or Cornwall, and the door, the blast door that survives a matter antimatter explosion 4 feet away, and yet the rest of the ship is completely blown away. How does it compare to that, Stuart?
Your synopsises are awesome.
Thank you. The episode was not.
It's way better than that. That's what.
The only saving grace is CGI looked much nicer than Picard's season finale. Like, they clearly had more time to make it. The CGI is a lot of it, and it's very polished. And that CGI view screen of Spock is incredible. Well done them. And Pike was good, but embarrassing story-wise. But let's jump back to Enterprise. Nope, Discovery Season 1. Damn it, there's 2 Enterprise. So, Discovery Season 1. L'Rell has her hand on a bomb and threatens the entire Klingon government to let her be in charge, and no one thinks to snipe her. She takes over the entire Klingon government. We see a Orion brothel and dancing club where we see Mira Giorgio have sex with Orions. Yes, this really happens. We have a plan by Starfleet officially approved to bomb and destroy Kronos. Yes, this really happened. And we had Discovery spore drive into the heart of Kronos. Yes, Starfleet approves to bomb Kronos, guys. That's what happened in Star Trek season finale.
That's Discovery Season 1 for you. I mean, like we said, they corrected a lot of things, made a lot of changes to Season 2 to make it better, so...
Let's move on. It's a terrible season finale.
I'd rather watch the Season 2 finale for sure than Season 1, and definitely Lower Decks.
But I think, fair enough, Discovery Season 1 Season 2 were embarrassing finales, as was These Other Voyages, Enterprise, where we get the post-Romulan War scene. We skip all the Romulan War, and we get the decommissioning of the Enterprise and the start of the Federation with Jonathan Archer. Everyone's got new haircuts, but in reality it's all a holo program by Riker on the Enterprise D during Pegasus, and we end on the Enterprise D. Well, we end on the Enterprise, but we end feeling as if this is all the end about the Enterprise D. How does it compare to that one? Even though both season finales have Riker and mentioning the NX-01.
It's a fantastic episode idea for a mid-season episode.
Or mid-season 2-parter.
For a season and a series finale, because they knew this was the last. I agree with...
the cast, crew, and creators.
Well, yeah, I agree with... what the hell? Who's the actor that plays Archer?
Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula. I agree with him, his take on it, that it was very disrespectful to the characters. They tried to do something that would be great and epic, and it just kind of flopped. And even Berman, I think, or...
He has, yeah. The writers have since apologized.
Yeah, they've said that they didn't mean it to come off the way it did.
They thought it'd be a love letter to all of Trek rather than a disrespect to the Trek they're currently making.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I think fair to say a bit embarrassing as a season finale. That said, the CGI for the D is the best it ever looked. So, whereas, I'm just saying Picard, embarrassing, the D looked absolutely beautiful and built by Gabriel Kerner. I mean, at least the TNG sets look great. But yeah, that was definitely a letdown as a season finale. The one before that, though, is Voyager Endgame, where we see Admiral Janeway from the future come back in time and basically half destroy the Borg, get the crew home many, many years later. Admiral Janeway die. We see a beautiful shot at the end. We actually get to Earth. The journey to return to Earth was successfully done, and the Borg get pwned. How's it compare to that one, do you think?
It's still better. That one's epic because it's got some time travel things, but how many lives did she destroy? She went against the time travel, the temporal prime directive.
Undid.
Yeah, but still, I mean, who gives her that right? Like, no, just because you made a decision and are selfish, like that actually takes away from that character. And again,
well, that future character, the woman that lived it felt it was doable, whereas the woman during it didn't. Just to Future version I kept.
I understand the clarification, but yeah, it was a pretty epic series finale, actually.
And Alice Krieg generally back as the Borg Queen.
Yep. And the time travel element was really fantastic and a great premise for a show idea. But, yeah, Lower Decks is still better so far.
I think this one's close for me because it is a truly epic two-parter. It is, I mean, they pushed every boundary, and the CGI is beautiful. Absolutely incredible in this one. The makeup's great, the pacing's good, the future stuff's good, the story's dark. The fact that you actually get a satisfying ending was unexpected. And you could say a cop-out, but I mean, it's great. You know, it ends on this strong note. I think this is a very, very good episode of... This is a movie. This is a Voyager movie. You know, and if they hadn't have done this, this would have been a brilliant movie. Then we get the DS9 finale, where we get the founders are defeated. They retake Cardassia. They work with the Klingons to bomb Cardassia. Odo goes back to the Changelings. Sisko dies, takes out the Par Wraiths with Dukat. We're left with 30 minutes of goodbyes. I didn't realise that was very like Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. So it keeps going as every character says goodbye to.
No, this one was good. It's a good finale to a good series. Wraps pretty much anything up. But yeah, there's like 15 different endings for this episode, which it's like, oh, it's a natural ending point. The music's swelling, dun, 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 and then it goes to something else. It's like, wow, just pick one. That's one of the things that frustrated me with this one. And then the epicness that is Sisko now becoming one of the wormhole alien prophet and can come back anytime because he's nonlinear. Interesting, but will it? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah, so. It's okay for me. It's really the epilogue episode because I mean, if you compare it to Sacrifice of Angels, which has the biggest battle of all Star Trek history, they reuse half the shots for this episode. There's no commitment to a great space battle. They did everything in this episode they did better in a previous episode, except the endings. They spent all their budget previously, so for me it's fine. It's quite disappointing in terms of like it's not epic. Like Voyager ends on an epic note. This one ends on a, I mean, it's satisfying, but it's not the best episode of the show. It's not epic. It's more the last epilogue to the year-long epicness.
The worst thing about it, though, I got to point out, is the Sisko, despite the fact his son spent his whole life trying to get his father back, his Sisko decides to leave his son, his wife, and his unborn child by being selfish. But whatever. I mean, the people of Bajor, they need their prophet. So
I mean, yeah, can't Sisko with the power of the prophets clone himself and create a corporeal version to walk around? I guess it's kind of Jesus at that point, though. You know. The prophet, the father, and the prophet's son. But so yeah, not so good for me. But then we get TNG, the classic All Good Things, the two-parter which revisits every single era of its own show. The first season, the pre-first season, brings back Tasha and Q. The future, where we get to see everyone older, new tech, new bridge, and the present itself. We get to end on the gentle card game, which is somehow the most epic ending of any of these, somehow. Plus, we get to see Negvar's being blown up. We get to see all these things and all the characters, even, you know, Brian, who somehow looks younger, even though he's been in DS9 for like 3 years and looking older. All three timelines, and after all that, a Q subplot as well.
It's on par with that, at least. All Good Things is pretty much the perfect series finale. I mean, this is only season 1 finishers finale. I didn't get the same feelings that I had with the Lower Decks episode as I did with All Good Things. All Good Things was like, yeah, this is satisfying. This is awesome. Woohoo. Whereas with Lower Decks, it was like you heard that music, you saw the Titan come in, you saw it kick some butt, and you see Riker, and you get that like, ooh, Riker's back. I mean, it's so exciting. But now he's been in season finale of Picard, of Enterprise,
Lower Decks.
Like he's the TNG guy now.
He is. Or he's in the more. Yeah, they always said that Will Riker's in more shows than anyone. But which Stewart was the more impressive to the rescue? Lower Decks when he comes to the Titan, or TNG when he comes to rescue the Galaxy X? He comes to rescue in both shows with phasers blaring.
True, but he's a tired old man. And
tired admiral,
all
yeah.
good things.
It's true.
So
but isn't that
it's
fun?
almost more epic in lower decks.
But isn't that kind of fun? That's the end of our register. And we started with Riker epically finale came to rescue, and we end with epic Riker coming to the rescue. Isn't that weird? 30 years apart. No, I think All Good Things absolutely wins out. I mean, that's obviously the extreme level because it's a truly incredible... I mean, most shows don't end that well. It ended that well. 7 years satisfying. Every character got something to do. All the old characters got brought back. It was fan service. It was it was a show that used itself. It knew itself. You can't beat that really. And we're not trying to beat it. We're just saying the feeling. But the fact that Lower Decks, as we go back to there, had so much great story, had something for every character to do, changed the paradigm with characters literally dying, being reset, evolving to promote, in terms of this show is not staying where it is. It's evolving, it's doing new things. And, none of the season finales, except maybe for more Voyager for me, because it's truly a satisfying ending. You're like, that was epic. That was a really powerful season finale. So not since Voyager for me. It's like, that was a thing. That was an achievement.
Well, and I said this about this episode too. It's the best episode since, well, you said it too, since In a Mirror Darkly Part 2 for Trek fans. And that also had quote unquote fan service. And also comment down below, what did you think is your favorite season series finale? I know that we kind of talked about series and season finales here, but kind of discuss down below what you guys think, and engage with the community, because we got a great community here.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it also comes for free. I think you've hopefully enjoyed our Lower Decks coverage throughout these 10 weeks and even before the trailer and such. Well done them. And if you want to support us with a well done, then Patreon is a great way. It's a really, really important way. It's a monthly service. Or YouTube, you can also join on a monthly level as well. There's join button on the channel page. Super Chat during the lives, those are super, super, super important. So please do if you can. Or PayPal as well. The one-time donation all goes towards show improvements. That's trekyards@hotmail.com. And of course, if you can't donate directly, just join in the conversation. We love that energy. So please do if you can. And thanks in advance.
So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Carl Kungs. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.